Did you know there's a simple morning ritual? Takes less than 2 minutes, requires no equipment, and costs nothing, yet has helped over 15,000 Japanese seniors live past 90 without strokes or high blood pressure? And the most shocking part? 90% of Americans have never even heard of it. This all started with a surprising study from Harvard. They were tracking a group of Japanese elders, people who don't diet obsessively, don't go to the gym, don't rely on heart medication, and yet they had healthier arteries and better blood flow than most younger adults in the West. How? The answer wasn't in a supplement, a surgery, or a genetic miracle. It was in 6 tiny morning movements that seem almost too simple to matter, and yet each one boosts circulation, softens stiff arteries, reduces clot risk, and cuts stroke risk by up to 147%. Now, let me ask you something real. Have you felt short of breath just walking from your bedroom to the kitchen? Ever woken up with a racing heart or dizzy spell? Do you sometimes feel like your body is aging faster than it should? If so, this video might just change how you age and how you protect your heart every morning from now on. Have you ever wondered, why do the Japanese, despite living in one of the fastest-paced, high-pressure societies, consistently rank among the longest-living people on Earth? Most assume it's their diet, or maybe their genetics, or perhaps their advanced healthcare system. But a 5-year study from Harvard Medical School uncovered something shocking. The real secret isn't in their genes, and it's definitely not in medication. It lies in a series of incredibly simple morning movements so basic, Western doctors once dismissed them as useless. The first of these movements, practiced daily by Japanese seniors over 60, is known as Sampo, the art of slow walking. Not for exercise, not to burn calories, but as a mindful ritual where every step gently wakes up the heart and body. Take Mr. Kenji, an 84-year-old man from Kyoto. Every morning, he walks to the park at 5:30 a.m. No phone, no headphones, just his sandals, an old cap, and a quiet rhythm of breath synced with each step. It's as if he's listening to his own body speak. Westerners once laughed at this, until brain scans revealed that people like Mr. Kenji had 40% less cognitive decline and joint mobility 20 years younger than their American counterparts. From just slow walking? Not exactly. It's not about the speed, it's about being present. When you walk slowly, deliberately, and breathe deeply, your cardiovascular system shifts into a safe mode, not spiked by caffeine or stressed by breaking news. A 10-year study from Kyoto University followed 3,000 older adults and found those who practiced mindful walking each morning had a 62% lower risk of arterial stiffness. So, if your heart sometimes races in the morning, you feel lightheaded getting out of bed, or you start your day already tired, it might not be aging. It might be your heart begging for a gentler beginning, not a jolt. And next, we'll explore the second movement, a 3-minute ritual that's helped millions of Japanese elders maintain their balance, reduce joint pain, and stay mentally sharp well into their 90 seconds. Stay with me, what comes next is so simple. It might just change the way you start every morning for the rest of your life. What if I told you there's a morning habit that takes just 3 minutes, requires no equipment, costs nothing, yet helps reduce back pain, prevent falls, keep joints flexible, and even boost mental clarity? It's not yoga. It's not a gym workout. It's something the Japanese have done every day since 1928. It's called Radio Taiso, a simple rhythmic set of 13 stretches done by millions of Japanese every single morning. Sounds old-fashioned? Yes, it is nearly a century old. But that's exactly why it works, because it's been refined through generations, not marketed as a trend. Picture this. It's 6:30 a.m. Across Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, In parks, living rooms, and company lobbies, people of all ages stand up, move in unison to soft piano music, stretching their bodies in slow, graceful motions. There's no competition, no shouting coach, just breath, movement, and quiet discipline. But here's what's amazing. A study by Osaka Medical College followed seniors over 60 who did radio taiso daily. 40% fewer falls, 55% less chronic back pain, greater range of motion in shoulders and hips, similar to people decades younger. So why is it so effective? Because the sequence gently activates the entire body, like warming up an old engine. Every joint is gently moved, lubricated. The spine is stretched and decompressed. Blood circulation improves. Your brain gets early input from arms and legs, resetting your nervous system. And unlike typical Western stretches, none of the movements are static. Each move flows into the next, like dancing through warm honey. The result? In just 3 minutes and 15 seconds, you've awakened your entire musculoskeletal and neurological system without breaking a sweat. You don't need gym clothes. You don't need a mat. Just your body, your breath, and maybe a quiet tune. So if you wake up stiff, sore, or low energy, try Radio Taiso. It might not feel dramatic on day 1, but after 10 days, you may find yourself moving like someone 10 years younger, more fluid, more grounded, more in control. And in the next segment, we'll dive into a Japanese habit so powerful, doctors in Japan actually prescribe it like medication, not to build muscles, but to preserve memory, prevent falls, and keep independence deep into your 90 seconds. A habit so underrated, yet backed by brain scans and long-term studies. Stick around. You won't want to miss this. If you brushed your teeth this morning without trying to balance on one leg, you just skipped a doctor-prescribed medicine in Japan, one that could help prevent stroke, falls, and even early death. Sounds like an exaggeration? Let me tell you the real story of Larry, a 6-year-old retired farmer from Texas. Larry was tough. He'd never been one to complain. Still drove himself to the grocery store. Still feeds his dog every morning. Until one rainy Tuesday, he slipped in the bathroom. A simple fall, nothing dramatic, but it shattered his hip. He spent 6 weeks in a hospital bed. Then, 3 months of learning to walk again. He needed a cane. He couldn't go out alone anymore. But the worst part wasn't the pain. It was losing his independence in his own home. At his follow-up, the doctor told him, if you'd been practicing standing on one leg just 1 minute a day, your fall risk could have dropped by over 70%. In Japan, that advice isn't rare, it's standard. Doctors there prescribe what they call the one-leg standing prescription to everyone over 60, just like we'd prescribe blood pressure meds here. And the science? A 15-year study of 12,000 seniors found 68% fewer hip fractures, 75% fewer hospitalizations from falls, higher brain function, memory, and coordination. So how do you do it? Simple. Stand near a wall or sturdy chair. Lift 1 foot 2 inches off the ground. Focus on a fixed spot in front of you. Breathe normally and hold for 30-60 seconds. Switch sides. As you improve, try closing your eyes for 5 seconds. Gently move your head side to side, or raise your arms to increase the challenge. 2 minutes a day. No equipment, no gym, but possibly years more of independence. Now ask yourself, how long can you stand on one leg without wobbling? If the answer made you nervous, this video might be your body's gentle wake-up call. And if this habit seems simple, just wait for the next segment, where I'll reveal a daily Japanese movement that activates your brain and body simultaneously, preserves memory, and keeps seniors living independently well into their 90 seconds. Hint: it's not a gym exercise, it's a movement hidden in plain sight. Every time you sit down and get back up, stick around. Let me ask you something. Can you sit down on the floor and stand back up without using your hands? Sounds easy, right? But this one simple movement has been called the Hashon predictor of longevity by geriatric doctors around the world. Let me tell you about Mrs. Kimiko, a 92-year-old woman from Osaka, Japan. She still cooks her own meals, tends to her small garden, but what truly amazed me was this. Every day, she sits cross-legged on the floor to enjoy her tea, then stands up unassisted. No walker, no helping hand, just pure body awareness and control. Meanwhile, my 70-year-old uncle in Texas can barely squat for 10 seconds without his knees trembling. Not because he's weak, but because his body forgot how to move naturally. A massive study from Tsukuba University followed over 10,000 Japanese seniors and found those who practiced daily floor-to-stand transitions lived an average of 7 years longer. They had fewer hip fractures and less joint degeneration. Most notably, their memory and cognitive performance were 15% better. Why is this such a powerful habit? Because standing up from the floor without using your hands requires full body coordination. Your brain, bones, joints, muscles, vestibular system, and nervous system all working in harmony. It's not just movement, it's functional intelligence. If you've never tried it, start here. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart. Lower one knee to the ground, then the other, into a kneeling position. Shift into a seated position, cross-legged or kneeling. To rise, step 1 foot forward into a lunge. Push through your front leg to return to standing. If that's too difficult, use a cushion or a low stool for support. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Do this 3 to 5 times per day, and your body will begin to remember. Remember how to balance, how to move, how to be free. So the question is, will you wait until your body needs a cane? Or will you start reclaiming your mobility now? In Japan, they don't call this exercise. It's a way of life, a natural habit that keeps them strong, balanced, and independent well into their 90 seconds. And if you think this was impressive, wait until the next segment. Because I'm about to show you a movement so simple, it only requires a small towel, yet it's been linked to a 7-year increase in average lifespan. This tiny motion activates the brain, heals inflammation, and strengthens the body, all in under 2 minutes. Stick around, because what seems like just twisting a towel might actually be the single most powerful longevity practice ever discovered. If I told you that a simple hand towel could help you live longer, think sharper, and move better, you'd probably laugh. But that's exactly what researchers at Tamagawa University in Japan discovered. They call it tenugui hibiki, the towel twist. And for Japanese elders, it's not just a morning stretch. It's a daily brain-body ritual with science-backed benefits that stunned even Harvard neurologists. Let's go back to 2004. A rural town in northern Japan launched a health experiment. They asked 1,500 seniors, aged 65 and older, to perform a simple towel twisting movement every morning and night, just 1 minute each. 20 years later, those who stuck to the habit had higher grip strength, a key predictor of longevity, lower inflammation markers, better cognitive test scores, and 7-year longer average lifespan compared to the control group. So what is this movement? Here's how it works. Take a small towel and roll it lengthwise. Hold it in front of you with both hands at shoulder height. Pull the towel outward as if trying to stretch it. While keeping that tension, slowly twist your torso to the right. Hold for 3 seconds. Return to center, then twist to the left. Hold for 3 seconds. Repeat for 1 minute. The key? Maintain tension, breathe mindfully, and move with control. It might look simple, but inside your body, something extraordinary happens. Your deep core stabilizers activate. Your posture muscles fire. Your spinal fluid circulation increases. Your brain hemispheres synchronize. Brain scans revealed that towel twisting stimulates more areas of the brain simultaneously than most gym workouts. It's yoga, Pilates, physical therapy, and brain training in one motion. You don't need a gym. You don't need equipment. You don't even need to sweat. Just a towel and 2 minutes of your day. Do it first thing in the morning to awaken your nervous system. Do it before bed to improve recovery and sleep quality. Now let me ask you, if something this simple, this effective, has been practiced for generations in Japan, why haven't we in the West embraced it sooner? Try it tonight. Not tomorrow, not next week. Tonight and tomorrow morning, when you pick up that same towel again, you'll feel it, that subtle shift in how your body moves, how your mind sharpens, and how your day begins. Because sometimes the key to longevity isn't a breakthrough, it's a return to the basics. Stay tuned, because in the next segment, we'll uncover a forgotten emotional habit that Japanese elders credit for not just long life, but a happy one. And no, it's not meditation. It's something even simpler, something you've already experienced, but maybe forgotten how to practice. See you there. If I asked you, what truly keeps your heart healthy? What would you say? Exercise? A balanced diet? Good sleep? All true, but still, not the full picture. According to a 15-year report by Japan's National Institute of Health, there's one mysterious factor that has nothing to do with food or medication. Yet it reduces stroke risk by 33% and increases average lifespan by up to 6 years. The secret? Emotion. Let me tell you the story of Mr. Takeshi, an 7-year-old gentleman living in rural Wakayama. Every morning at 5 a.m., he brews a cup of matcha tea, steps out onto his wooden porch, and does something unusual. He handwrites a thank you note to a friend, a neighbor, even a postal worker who helped him carry groceries the week before. Sometimes, it's just 2 lines. Thank you for visiting my granddaughter yesterday. She smiled all evening. He's done this every single morning for over 20 years. Researchers call this a positive emotional habit, particularly the practice of daily gratitude. Simple? Yes. But its power is anything but. A study by Keio University showed that seniors who practiced daily gratitude had 40% lower cortisol levels, more stable blood pressure, and slept 27% better than those who didn't. Why? Because when we acknowledge small blessings, we reprogram our nervous system. From constant defense mode to calm receptivity, we stop bracing against life and start flowing with it. And according to modern medicine, that mental shift creates a biological shield protecting the heart, immune system, and even brain health. So how can you start? It's easier than you think. Right after your towel twist in the morning, take 2 minutes to write or reflect on one thing you're grateful for. Doesn't need to be big. A bird's song, a warm cup of coffee, a hug from your wife of 40 years. If possible, share that gratitude with someone. Send a text, make a call, or write a handwritten note, like Mr. Takeshi. Stick with it for 21 days. Because when your brain creates a positive loop, it reshapes how you experience the world. The most powerful part? The healthiest body is one that feels connected, appreciated, and emotionally safe. It's no coincidence that the longest living people on Earth begin their mornings not with urgency, but with emotional clarity and a moment of peaceful reflection. They're not soft, they're wise, they've learned. Your heart doesn't just need cardio, it needs kindness. So tomorrow morning, take a breath. Think of one thing you're grateful for. Write it down, whisper it, smile about it. And you might just notice less tension in your chest, a calmer heartbeat, and a world that feels a little softer around the edges. We've now walked through 6 powerful Japanese morning habits. Each one is a step toward longevity, vitality, and most importantly, a life well lived. If you've ever felt like you've waited too long to start, then today is the perfect day to begin. Because Harold and I, we're not just here for your healthy steps. We're here for your quiet victories too.